Hi, this is Jennifer scrapping Cain. Today I'm sharing an 11 by 8.5 layout using a kit from the ScrapRoom. This is the Carta on the farm kit, and I'm going to be using basically what came in the kit. I'm going to use a few stickers from the sticker sheet, but not very many. And here we go. I'm going to get started. I have two photos of my son, and we were out at a farm visiting. It was a field trip and he was checking out the cows. There was a little place to stand along this fence and look over. So that's what he's doing. I have a few little label pieces from the ephemera pack. This is all what came in the monthly kit, is what I'm showing right now. And everybody gets different items. So these are the items that I received, and they're going to work perfectly for this photo. One of them is even going to serve as my title, which is this one here that says, oh, actually, it's the other one. I lied. And it's the Sunshine, You Are My Sunshine label. And it is very cute and it's going to work just perfect. So here I have this ledger green paper, which I love. And then it has little trucks on the back with animals in it. This flower paper is beautiful, along with the picnic paper on the other side. This one here has like polka dots all over it, and it's a beautiful red, but I love the plaid that's on the other side. I love a large plaid print, and that one I definitely like. Then you get two pieces of cardstock, and I'm going to use one of those for part of my background. I'm going to actually double mat my background. So right now I'm cutting it down to 8 by 10.5. And I'm going to use this stencil that I have in my stash. Sorry, I don't remember who this is by. I don't think it's, um, yeah, I don't remember who it's by. I'm not sure it's even available anymore, but it's definitely a larger stencil of a chicken wire. So that's what I'm using here. And at first I'm doing it with Distressed Oxide, but I decide to come in with Shimmer's Paint and Penny for Your Thoughts. And I'm going to use the sponge dauber the same way I just did, and I'm going to daub it through the stencil. And it does it very lightly. It's not going to warp the paper very much or anything like that, but I definitely like the darker look. And I went lighter and darker in some places. I didn't make it even all the way through. And now I'm just taking the little excess that's on the dauber and on the desk and going around the edge and putting a little bit of a burnt edge around the sides. So here we go. I'm going to use a little bit more of that Penny for Your Thoughts and just splattered it around, not very much. I have a couple other Shimmer's paints in red, green, and blue. And I'm going to also just splatter those around just lightly. I'm not doing it very heavy. So again, it's not going to warp the paper. So this cardstock was the perfect weight. There was no reason to use anything else. It didn't warp the paper, so it was perfect. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to do each color and just rolling it up with the paper towel just kind of makes it a little bit more faint in the background. Again, I didn't want it to, stand out as anything really big. I just don't care for white backgrounds. So usually if I use a white background, I'm definitely going to do some kind of mixed media or something in the background, because very rarely do I use an actual white background. But now it's not white no more, so it's going to work out. And I think the layout turns out really cute. So I couldn't decide if I wanted to go with the green first or the plaid. And then I believe I do it with the green and then the plaid and then the white paper. So I'm cutting the green paper down to 8.5 by 11. And again, I'm going to do it landscape, so it's not going to actually be a portrait layout. It will be laid on its side. And I don't have a landscape album. I just place them in my portrait album. Sometimes a landscape layout might be next to it. Sometimes a portrait layout might be next to it. But it doesn't really matter, because the smaller scale album, you can definitely turn and look at the landscape layout just fine. So it doesn't bother me that they're going two different directions. One, I like the creativity that the 11 by 8.5 gives. So that's why I do them 11 by 8.5. I started doing them that way probably about 20 years ago. Um, and I really enjoy the 11 by 8.5. So a lot of my layouts actually turn out to be 11 by 8.5. So here I'm just gutting the plaid because, again, I love it. So I want to be able to use it a little bit later in the month on another layout. So I went ahead and got that out so I could use it. And then I'm going to place this one on the green. I left the green a little bit bigger so that I had plenty of room to put the plaid down. And then I will come in and put the white one on top. So it actually has a double mat behind the white cardstock. I'll go all the way around the edge and voila, there we go, background done. And now I'm going to move on to matting my photos. I almost always put my photos on white cardstock because I love pattern paper. So I find if you add a lot of pattern paper, if you place your photos on white cardstock, then your photos, they stay the star of the show. They're not going to be overpowered by the cardstock or by the pattern papers. So that's why I always put them on white cardstock or black cardstock, but usually it's white. Like 99% of the time, it's white cardstock. This paper here is it's the backside of the plaid paper, and I just cut a little half-inch strip. Where you see the space, part of the label is going to cover that up anyway, so it was okay that it didn't go all the way across. And then the photo I matted in the green paper. This one here is a little frame, and I put the green inside of it. I'm going to put my photo on top of that one, the littler photo that just shows the bulls, cows, whatever they are. The little farm animals. How about that? I put a little chicken over there, a little corn stalk, and then down at the bottom it says Barnyard Friends. And then, like I said, this here is going to be my little title piece. That flower up by the title was fussy cut from the paper. The other flower over there that I'm putting down by his photo, down on the left-hand side, is from the sticker sheet. And then this one here, I don't remember what it says. Let me look real quick. This is the good stuff and making memories is what those two little labels say there. These here are flatback pearls from my stash. I decided to bring those in versus the enamel dots just because they were in different colors and it just adds a little bit more color to the layout. I will be using the enamel dots later in the month on a different layout, but I decided to go ahead and go with the flatback pearls instead. And I used one in each color and added those around. And I really like the way that that turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed today's layout and will join me again later in the month, like I said, for more layouts to come from using ScrapRoom kits. Definitely pick up your kits because I have enjoyed using them thoroughly for the last couple of months that I have been a subscriber, and I'm honored to be a guest designer. Thank you. Bye.